What's happening, everyone? It is your boy, D-WIZZLE, and I am here with a teaser review. The new official teaser trailer for the brand new live action Masters of the Universe movie coming out this summer. It just came out today as of this recording. Um, man, we're finally getting another live action He-Man movie. The first live action film since the Dolph Lundgren movie that came out almost 30 years ago. Yeah. So I've never really talked about He-Man on my channel actually. I like He-Man. I do remember watching the old cartoon when I was a kid. I think it came on like Boomerang or stuff like that because obviously the original cartoon came out before I was born. But yeah, I definitely remember watching some reruns of it on Boomerang when I was a kid. I enjoy He-Man. It wasn't something that I stuck with though. It wasn't one of those shows that I watched religiously, but I am aware of the world and obviously know who He-Man is, and I'm aware of some of the characters that are on there. But yeah, I'm not a hardcore fan. I don't know everything about the lore and everything, and there's so many characters and stuff like that. But I do like He-Man well enough. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's on the same level as Transformers or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or even G.I. Joe. So when I heard that they were trying to do another live action remake of it, I mean, I guess I was open to it. Only because I'm hoping it'll be drastically different from the Dolph Lundgren movie that we got years ago. Because I didn't really care for that, to be honest. It was too cheesy for me, and that's saying something because it's He-Man. But yeah, I didn't care too much for the original Masters of the Universe movie, and it also suffered the issue of it spending too much time in the real world when we really want to see Eternia and Castle Grayskull and stuff like that. We want to spend it on the actual world of He-Man, not in the real world. So it didn't really even strike a balance for me. Like, for instance, the first Thor film I thought struck a good balance of being in the real world and being in being in Thor's world. So yeah, I just needed more of that. And looks like when it comes to this remake, they're doing a similar thing that they did with the Thor film. It looks like they're once again going to be spending time in the real world and then spending some time on Eternia, which okay, sure, I guess. I just never understood why they feel so afraid of having the entire movie be in the actual world that the movie takes place in. It's like I guess if I'm really thinking about it, if they did want to spend the entire movie in Eternia, it would probably cost a lot more money. So it might some of it might be a cutting measure. And then I hear the other like excuse that like you're not gonna have like casual moviegoers and stuff like that, people that don't know He-Man, they're not gonna be able to connect to it. They need some sort of like human earth type of connection in order to like relate to the characters of He-Man, and I completely disagree with that. I'm sure you'll be able to relate to quite a few characters in the He-Man world, even if they spent the entire movie in Eternia. If Transformers 1 proved in anything, you don't need to spend the majority of the time on Earth doing regular human things. That's not what we come to these movies for. But I digress. And honestly, I feel a little more optimistic about them doing that type of scenario again with He-Man because of the director behind it. Because Travis Knight is directing this movie, and he's the one that is behind Kubo and the Two Strings and Bumblebee. And both of those movies are really, really good. And he is definitely a director that's proven that he actually respects the source material, and he's a fan of 80s nostalgia, and he's able to strike a balance between appealing to the fans and appealing to the general audience. And I definitely trust him as a storyteller as well. So if anyone can make this work, it's definitely him. So watching this teaser for the first time, I actually liked it. It looked pretty good. Yeah, I saw a lot more Eternia than I thought we were going to see, which is actually a good thing. Definitely they are spending some time on Earth, so I guess he's going to start out that way. But they are not afraid to show Eternia at all. Like the first few shots of the movie is, the shots of Castle Grayskull and stuff like that, and we're seeing a lot of action scenes and visuals. So I don't think we're going to spend time on Earth as much as we think. Like, I don't think they're going to shy away from the actual world building of of He-Man and him being on Eternia and all the different characters, because there's quite a few characters that they put in this teaser. I don't even think I catched everybody. I'm sure the hardcore He-Man fans was able to spot out a lot more Easter eggs and callbacks than I did, but yeah, I actually think this is pretty cool. Yeah, you saw a lot of characters in here, as I said, um, and I was kind of iffy about Nicholas Galitzine as He-Man. He looks pretty solid in this. He looks pretty solid. Like I said, I don't know this actor. I wouldn't say he'd be my first choice, but he looks like he's gonna do a serviceable job as Prince Adam and He-Man. Um, Obviously he's not like the bodybuilder that He-Man is in the cartoon and stuff like that, but there's few people that's able to get that huge. So he looks big enough though. Like he looks like he's in incredible shape. So I'm not personally bothered that he's not like freaking huge in this. He's big enough where it's like, okay, yeah, he looks like He-Man. He has the hair. He waves the sword around pretty well. He does the "I have the power" pretty good. So, I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, you see Tila in here. A quick shot of Evelyn. Idris Elba's Man at Arms. Like that's pretty cool. And then full on shots of Skeletor. Like that's probably the character I'm impressed with the most. Like Skeletor looks freaking awesome in this. Um, Lily straight out of the cartoon, and the CGI looks pretty good for him too. The overall CGI for Eternia looks pretty good. Very fantastical, visually really appealing. The use of color is pretty good. But yeah, like Jared Leto as Skeletor looks freaking awesome, and I'm sure he's gonna give a really cool voice for it. I'm not too worried about it. I know there's some people that were skeptical hearing that he was casted as Skeletor. I think he'll be just fine. I don't think he's gonna do anything too crazy. Um, yeah, I didn't mind him in Tron Ares either. He did a serviceable job here, and I think it'll be a similar thing here. And then we also seen Cringer, like full on green CGI tiger Cringer. He's right there. He looks pretty good too. We didn't see him full out as Battle Cat in this trailer, but I'm sure we're gonna see him as the marketing keeps rolling. But yeah, he looks pretty good. Like I said, the action looks really cool. The spaceships, all that stuff. The battle sequences in general looks pretty cool. Oh, we got another shot of what was it, Beast Man? I think he made his way in the real world. So he looks pretty cool. Yeah, there's just a lot. It's just a lot of really cool stuff in this trailer. It feels like Travis Knight is actually a fan of He-Man, and he's actually trying to do it justice and putting in a lot of Easter eggs and callbacks to for people that are fans. But I also think he's going to do enough to bring newcomers in. When it comes to the Earth stuff, yeah, it's a little silly, it's a little hammy, but it didn't bother me, it didn't bother me yet. We'll see when we see more of the Earth stuff. We'll see how far they're gonna go with the humor and stuff like that. Hopefully, it's not too goofy, but you got to have a little bit of humor and fun with He-Man, because a lot of people are expecting this to be a combination of Star Wars and Lord of the Rings, which, yeah, I guess that's a stereotypical way of comparing He-Man, but it's not exactly that. It does have some camp, it does have some goofiness in here. Like, even some of the names of these characters in the He-Man universe, it's like, it's pretty out there. I think there's a character in here called Fisto. Yes, that guy with the metal hand. Yeah, a guy named Fisto. it's that type of silly stuff we have in this, and that's exactly what we need in this. I don't want He-Man to be taken super, super seriously. Need to have some fun with this. Um, do I think this will be the best interpretation of He-Man since the original? I don't know. I don't know. There's so many different versions of He-Man over the years, and like I said, I'm not even a hardcore He-Man fan, so I don't know if I'll be the best to judge that. I even like the Kevin Smith Netflix He-Man show, and I know that version gets a lot of mixed reception out there. It's very controversial out there, but even I enjoyed the Kevin Smith He-Man show. So um, there were other He-Man shows that came out after that too, which I didn't watch all of them yet. I watched a little bit of the one that came out after. I think it was just called He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, and I think they made a sequel to Revelations, which I didn't have a chance to watch that either. I heard that was pretty solid. I think people liked it more than Revelations. But but anyway, yeah. Overall, I'm looking forward to seeing this, man. I'm definitely want to go see it. I wouldn't say I'm like super jazzed for it yet. Um, but I think the more that we see from this, I think I'll get a little bit more excited once I see more of the story and how the characters interact and stuff like that, and actually seeing He-Man and Battle Cat together and stuff like that. Like, I think I'll get a little bit more excited as the marketing goes on. So far, it looks good. It looks pretty good. I don't know if this will be the best Travis Knight film that I've seen, but hey, who knows? It possibly could. It probably will turn me more into a He-Man fan than I already am. Yeah, anything's possible. So, but those are my thoughts on the teaser for Masters of the Universe. What did you guys think about it? Did you guys enjoy this trailer? Did it get you guys more excited to see this movie? Are you guys already He-Man fans? Do you feel like from what you're seeing so far, it's respecting the source material? Do you think it's going to be able to bring in the fans of He-Man and bring in the general audience? Do you like the casting? Do you like the action? Do you like the visual effects? Comment your thoughts down below and let me know.